I can have your attention, please, for a very, very important ceremony. First and most importantly, I want to welcome everyone to the 2018 Westminster Softball Senior Night. I want to thank all the moms and dads that organized this event. This is obviously one of the most special evenings of our season. So on behalf of the coaches and the players, Westminster mom and dads, thank you so much for all you did to make this evening happen. So thank you. We're glad that you're here on this very special evening. At this time, I would like to recognize the Dunwoody High School seniors. So Dunwoody players, when I call your name, if you would please come out to the foul line so that we can honor and recognize you this evening. Senior Samantha Moss. Taylor Pierce. Walker Wickland. Cate Hicks. Sarah Gudelman. And Nicole Mulford. On behalf of all of us at Westminster, we congratulate you and we wish you well in your future endeavors. A nice round of applause for our Dunwoody seniors tonight. It's an honor and a privilege to introduce our guest of honor tonight. For 7 wonderful seasons, Coach Pete Wellborn served as the Westminster softball community coach. During this time, Coach Wellborn certainly left his mark in the softball program by being part of more than 125 victories. He celebrated a region championship in 2012 and an Elite 8 trip to Columbus, Georgia in 2014. While all those on-the-field accolades are impressive, we will always remember Coach Wellborn by his passion, his enthusiasm, and his love towards every Westminster softball player. His spirit was unmatched. His knowledge of the game was superior, and his genuine love and caring for all players he coached was impactful. Coach Wellborn was a special coach, and for those that coached with him, and for those that played for him, we are all better people for having the opportunity to be on the field with Coach Wellborn. Our 2 seniors, Cece Bassett and Cate Carson, had the opportunity to play for Coach Wellborn during their freshman season. I know they treasure their experience, and they will always have everlasting memories of Coach Wellborn. So today, we bring back Coach Wellborn to recognize and to honor Cece and Cate on their special evening. Coach Wellborn, we're thrilled to have you here today. And I know Cece and Cate are just as thrilled to have you here for them. At this time, it is an honor and a pleasure to present to you Coach Pete Wellborn.
First, I want to thank Brent for those wonderful words, and thank Bill Caldwell, Coach Caldwell, Casey Stout, who is now coaching over at Whitfield, the Howard and T.D. Carson, Mandy and Julie Bassett, most importantly, Cate and Cece for all having the idea to have me back out here. I cannot tell you how much it means to be here. It really feels like I'm home. Also want to thank my wife Susan, who is the best wife and softball family person, coach person in the world. I am loud. Coach McGuire used some nice ways of saying that I'm very loud, outgoing, extroverted, enthusiastic was his words. So I have the ideas and it was always Susan who made the things happen, but I would get the credit. So I want to thank Susan for that. Also, I want to thank my daughter Maggie, who just graduated from Yale and is working up in New York now. But if it wasn't for her, I never would have been out here for those 7 years, which included Maggie's 4 years, and was time that I will treasure forever. I'm going to have a few comments afterwards really quick, but the most important thing tonight is to honor Cate and Cece. So we'll start off with Cate Carson, number 1 shortstop, who's with her parents, Howard and Penny Carson. It's tradition here, the girls answer a few questions. One is about their favorite Westminster softball memories. I have their answers, and so Cate's favorite softball memory. She said, my favorite softball memory is the homecoming dance after the region tournament freshman year. We went from losing a hard battle against Blessed Trinity in the region tournament and crying together on the bus ride home to immediately heading to the homecoming dance all together, making sure to showcase the trophy at the dance. Although we unfortunately forgot the trophy at school, we all had a great time dancing and laughing together afterwards. And this was an important bonding moment for our team. Another good memory from freshman year was winning the most likely to take her mom to college superlative for education plans next year. Cate says, as of now, I'm undecided on where I'd like to go. I'll be applying to the University of Virginia, Dartmouth, UGA, Vanderbilt, Washington Lee, and the University of North Carolina. Cate's advice to the underclassmen. My biggest piece of advice is don't take the season or the team for granted. Although we don't always receive the recognition or the fans that we deserve, the softball team is one of a kind, and there's no way to replicate the friendships and the experiences that you make during the season. Also, take advantage of every practice and every game. As all those who came before me have repeatedly said, time in high school flies by, so leave everything out on the field so you don't have any regrets when you get to your last season. And finally, who should I like to give thanks to? Cate says, I would like to thank my parents for always supporting me unconditionally in everything I do. Thank you to my father for coaching me throughout all these years and spending countless hours on the field with me. Although I don't like to admit it, your advice was usually right. Also, thank you, Mom, for encouraging me and cheering me on at every game, regardless if you don't know the difference between second base and shortstop. I'd also like to thank Coach McGuire, Coach Caldwell, Coach Kay, and of course Coach Stout for coaching my favorite sport that I've ever played, because you have made all the experience so great. Senior Cate Carson. Next is number 11, second base and pitcher, Cece Bassett, with her parents Randy and Julie.
It's all you.
Now let's go ahead and start the pictures while we're talking about Cece's answer. Cece's favorite Westminster softball memory. My favorite memory is beating Lovett my sophomore year to be region champs. We had to beat them by 5 runs, and the seniors that year also chose that game for senior night. So we were facing a lot of pressure to win. We were able to draw a big crowd out to support the game, and we ended up beating them 10-2. It was one of the most exciting games I've ever played in, and beating Lovett on senior night made it even better. As for education plans, to give you an idea of how athletic she is, Cece will be attending Davidson College, where she'll be playing collegiate soccer. Cece's advice to the underclassmen. She says, my advice is to savor and love absolutely every second of playing varsity softball at Westminster. There's nothing quite like it. Every year the team bonds so well, becomes incredibly close, which makes each season amazingly fun and special. Also, live in the moment. Don't spend your time reflecting too much on past seasons or looking forward to next year. Each team is special for its own reasons, so focus on the present and enjoy everything the current team has to offer. For thanks, Cece says, first thank you to my sister who helped me grow and love the game. And that's her sister Emily, eBay as we called her, who, like Cece, is one of my favorite players ever and a phenomenal athlete, also a college athlete. Without her, I probably wouldn't have started playing softball, and I would have missed out on so many amazing opportunities and people. I also want to thank her for always encouraging me and giving me advice on and off the field. Thank you to my parents for always driving me wherever I needed to go and for being willing to help me improve my skills, especially by catching me at so many pitching lessons. Even my mom, after I almost knocked out her tooth, and by hitting me as many grounders as I could possibly want. Thank you, Coach McGuire, for continuing to foster my love of softball and for all his patience in dealing with my complicated schedule. Thank you to Coach Caldwell for always pushing me to do my best, especially in pitching this year. Thank you to Coach Cate, who has fit in so well with the program and can always give amazing life and softball advice. Finally, thank you to Coach Stout and Coach Pete, who don't coach her anymore, but always kept practices lighthearted and fun. Senior Cece Bassett. It seems like yesterday that Cate and Cece were freshmen and I was getting to coach them, and I remember exactly what I said the first time they walked on the field, and I repeated it at the banquet that year, which is that if you were a stranger to Westminster softball and just walked out and watched a game, you would never in a million years guess that they were freshmen. They came out, they were leaders, they were superstars. They're the kind of girls you can build a program around, and that's not just because of the softball players that they were. More so it's because of the people and the leaders that they were. It's been said before that character is doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Well, I'll say sometimes it's even tougher to do the right thing when everybody's looking. It's not a popular thing. These are the kind of girls that whether nobody's looking or everybody's looking, they have great character and would do the right thing. They also are two of the best examples of team players that I've ever seen. They're both multi-sport athletes. They had so much going on. It would have been so easy to not put their heart and soul or quite as much into softball, but they were completely invested. And Cate would have probably been the best player ever to play out here, at least hitting-wise and fielding-wise, but for a bum shoulder that has kept her from really swinging a bat. Done what he doesn't know. Just teasing about that. She's a power hitter. But she never complained once about her injury. And I think if we had said, run through a brick wall and lead with your bum shoulder, she would have run through that brick wall leading with her bum shoulder.
That's fixed now.
I'm going to wrap it up because the important thing here is playing softball. But I thought long and hard about what I wanted to say to express how I feel about the program and about these girls and about Coach McGuire and about Coach Caldwell and about his son Gray, who we just love. And as I kept writing it down, I was thinking, this sounds familiar. This sounds familiar to me. And I realized that 8 years ago to the day almost, I had written something after my second season coaching here. So I'd been here for a year and 3 months, whatever. At the end of the 2010 season, my second season, and it really says it, and it's more true today than it was before. And I said, the desire to belong is literally hardwired into the heart and soul of every person. The need to be a part of something bigger than yourself, to share with others the emotions that define the human experience, is an urge no less fundamental than breathing or sleeping. People who've never experienced the wonderful, unconditional nature of this brotherhood or sisterhood, people who've never been part of a real team, can't possibly understand this concept. Those who do understand what happens when players become a team, and the team then becomes a family, know the greatest feeling on earth. A combination of sympathy, empathy, confidence, security, love, and togetherness that's reinforced with every word of encouragement, consolation, or love from a teammate. True teams shun the prejudices used in the real world to separate us from them. Girls go from being teammates to friends to sisters, and this is what happens every year in Westminster softball. There's a great book that tells us that love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful. It's not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. It's not irritable or resentful. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. If you substitute a wildcat for the word love, then you have in one concise passage what it's like to be a part of Westminster softball. You know the reason that every player and every coach from the Westminster squad will forever have a special place in my heart. And that's especially Cate and Cece, Brent McGuire, Casey Stout, Bill Caldwell, and Gray. I've still coached, I think, half the team here, even though I've been gone, if you count NYO and go back to 10-year-old, as well as the older leagues at NYO. But that reason that it's always special is because we're a team. We're a family. We're Wildcats. Thanks, Coach.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Coach Pete Wellborn for coming back this evening and making this the highlight of our season. We certainly congratulate our Dunwoody seniors. Congratulations, ladies. Cate and Cece, congratulations. At this time, we're going to ask that Coach Pete Wellborn step to the circle, and Katie Blau will do the receiving. Coach will throw out the first pitch, and then we will play ball. Coach Wellborn, the honor is yours. Big round of applause. Play ball.
Thank you, Coach Wellborn. Thank you so much for coming. That was great. That was a great.